So, hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of Top 6 Match Review for Football Coliseum. My name is Adetunji. I have here with me Benro. I have Uche. Unfortunately, Uche is an Arsenal fan, fortunately. Tega is a United fan. Chike is our Chelsea representative, and Lamid is an Arsenal fan. So just to get into it right quick, we'll start with I'll call it one of the biggest matches of the weekend, actually in London Derby. Two underperforming teams. I'm leaving you to guess. We have one in 17th position. I see Chike smiling already. And another in 9th position after spending close to $1 billion, or which you would say. It's a match that's been not really one-sided. Chelsea has won, Westham has won. We are going to the London Stadium on Saturday. Let's start with Chike. You have a couple of players back. Felix has ended his suspension. Yeah, we have, I think, your DM and also a couple of players. How do you feel going into this game? Is this when you start your season?
I guess so. Like going into it now, I think the consensus amongst most Chelsea fans is like we'll know what Potter is all about based on his lineup this weekend, because there are some players that are underperforming, and if he keeps selecting those players, then we know like he doesn't know what he's doing. So if he picks it, like most people have like the setting lineup they have in their head of what they think is going to be successful moving forward, and hopefully he goes with that, because in my own mind, I think that's what's best going forward. Someone like Mounts, I don't think needs to start. Havertz doesn't need to start, and I think everything else works well. Then if you get, like you said, if you get Felix back, then ends up maybe paired with Kovacic, who I think they said is in training currently. So if you get those kind of lineups, then instead of Ziyech, maybe Mark Wiki or somebody else, then Mudryk playing back healthy, and maybe something can happen. If he goes back to his old ways, then we'll keep seeing the same results, and then that's just insanity at that point. Then let's see.
Okay, you have a near fit, just for you have a near fit team, almost fit. Everyone is back. I was just want to ask, do you think this is a point where your season really starts? Because most people feel you still have the chance of making the top 4. Do you think that's still a possibility?
There's still a possibility there, but it's still going to take time for the new players to gel with everything going on, especially like in England, because most of them are coming from everywhere else. So, you're right. Like the season starts from now, but like again, it's still going to take a bit for everybody to gel and move forward. So let's see. We'll see what happens. But I have a good feeling about this weekend. I hate that it's an early fixture. So let's see. Westham is not doing great, like you said. So no.
Like you had a feeling the last week.
Yes, I want to come to you, Arsenal fans, because I think you will agree that most of what Chike has said looks like excuses. You can't spend almost $1 billion in a season, and you're saying the players need to gel.
It didn't work. Most of those were.
Let's hear from Arsenal fans. Let's hear from the Arsenal fans. How do you feel?
You know what? Yeah, for me, I like I said, I was saying to a friend of mine, it was last week. I said I feel really sorry for Potter. You know, I mean, it's of course you get a manager who wants players, but this is like I don't know if you've watched superhero movies. You know, it gets to a point where there's a portal that opens and these demons start coming from there, and they're like so overwhelming for their. I mean, for me, I think this side looks for Potter. These guys are just too much. I just wonder how I would try to integrate those players in the training page, like try to handle their personality. So for me, I think Chelsea fans I think the majority of them are very, very optimistic, you know, but I think in reality, I think I really fear for them, honestly. Like, and I guess what they're probably meeting West Ham at the wrongest of times. You know, I mean, West Ham just drew in Newcastle. Like, that energy, that belief is with West Ham now. So, I mean, good luck to you guys. I don't envy you guys, especially your manager, because I feel for him, honestly. I do.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, sorry. Talking about forms, it doesn't look like one team is actually better. in the last 5 games, they've actually had 1 victory each, drawing 2 and losing 2. In the last 10 games you've played, Chelsea have won 4, Westham have won 4 also in the league, drawing 2 games. So it looks like there's really not too much in terms of being in local.
Is that head-to-head, sorry?
Yeah, they had to in the last 10 games. Westham have had 4 victories, Chelsea 4 and drawing 2. So it's also in the form in the last 5 games. You've both won 1, drawn 2, and lost 2. So how disturbing is that? I don't know if Chike wants to take that first, and also maybe from United fan, but Chike, you can go ahead.
Yeah, the form is quite disturbing, and to go off what I want to say Lamid said, like it feels like Potter wasn't the right guy for the job if he's going to have this much issues with having quality players. But yeah, the form hasn't been good. Like I said, he's kept the same underperforming players in the starting lineup every single game throughout that period, and hasn't really changed much. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess I'm like, he needs to change something. That's the bottom line. Whatever it is, just needs to be different from what we've been doing in the past 5 games, like you said, because only 1 victory in 5. That's ridiculous. Even before these new players came in, like we still had like a decent squad, but like the form has been pretty horrible.
Okay. So can we take? Do you want us to take predictions? What are you? I'll start from Tega, who happens to be a United fan. I think United actually being scared a little bit, considering if Chelsea really starts to push their top 4 position, actually be at risk. Middle problem of Chelsea for me would be the number of goals scored. You've played, but you are averaging a goal per match. It's actually terrible for 18 weeks or plethora of attacking talents that you have. So, Tega, do you have a prediction for this game? What are you expecting in this West Ham Chelsea game at London Stadium Saturday?
Well, I don't think Chelsea is in form. I don't think West Ham is in form. So I just think probably a draw.
Oh, okay. A debut of two poor teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna.
Okay, let's move over to Bero. Bero, what's your prediction for this game?
So for me, yeah, you have to look at certain, like look at Chelsea. I think they are 10 plus 2. And look at West Ham. West Ham are 17. They are getting close to that relegation. So for them, it's basically a must play. Not those that close the derby or whatever. It's like they need people to give that gap from like relegation. So then again, I noticed that in the last 5 games, they actually won 3 and drawn 1, lost 1, which is still not bad. For this current game, what I feel is that West Ham will win.
Okay, thank you. And briefly to the Arsenal guys, let's start with Uche. Uche, I know I intentionally made you not speak about it because I know how you feel about Chelsea.
Okay. First of all, it's surprising that Chelsea I keep going back to this. They spent a lot of money in the January transfer window, and they're struggling for goals, right? I was one of the guys who was scared for Potter coming in because I think Potter is an amazing manager. If we go back to his work at Brighton and what he did with those guys, they kept overperforming, right? He had mid-table resources and they kept overperforming. And I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of his style or his philosophy. But he's come into a team and he's been sort of thrust into the limelight a bit because now there's a lot of money to spend and the expectation is even more. Right? You spent so much money, the expectation is more. For what I can see this weekend, I think Chelsea will not concede, right? I think there's a blossoming partnership between Thiago Silva and Badiashile that they signed. I think they might not concede. The only issue is in front of goal. Will they score? The defense looks good, but will they score? That's the issue. Will they score? if I was to pick a prediction, it would be a 0-0. A 0-0.
How about Golan?
Bullshit.
Okay. Lamid, your prediction for this game before we go to the Arsenal game?
Yeah, I think West Ham wins 2-0. Yeah. I think
That's
West Ham
the
wins.
boldest prediction I've seen in the world.
No, I think West Ham wins because Chelsea almost never really do well. I think for the last few games, again, especially when they go to West Ham. I remember the last season, this Masuaku goal from the, I don't know, I'm sure you just can't remember, but that one, the goal.
Of course.
So yeah. So I think West Ham,
Shot.
yeah, I think West Ham will win. But I mean, 2-0, that's bold, but I think West Ham will win.
And considering Chelsea have actually kept three clean sheets, I believe, 3 clean sheets, well, that's bold.